Most people don't give much thought to the little lead bits they feed into their airguns, but if you've ever spent an afternoon trying to dial in a grouping, you know that not all ammo is created equal. These pointed pellets from Crosman are a bit of a staple in the hobby, and for good reason. They have this distinct, sharp profile that's designed to cut through the air with a bit more efficiency than your standard flathead wad cutters. At about 7.4 to 7.6 grains, they sit in that sweet spot where they're heavy enough to carry some momentum, but light enough to keep a decent trajectory. When you're holding the tin, it's got that classic solid feel. It's a simple metal container, but it does the job of keeping everything organized so you aren't digging through a bag of crushed skirts. Honestly, there's something satisfying about the way they sit in the magazine or the breech. They just look like they mean business. Now here is the thing about pointed ammo. They are built for a specific purpose. Because of that tapered shape, they tend to expand quite a bit upon impact, which makes them a solid choice if you're dealing with small pests in the garden or just want a bit more punch on your target. They aren't necessarily going to win you a long-range precision competition. For that, you'd usually want a domed pellet, but for general backyard plinking, they are incredibly reliable. One thing to keep in mind is that lead is soft. If you're prone to dropping your tin or being a bit rough with your gear, you might find a few deformed ones near the edges, which is just the nature of the material. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth checking your batch before you start shooting. The finish is clean, and they don't leave your fingers covered in that nasty, oily residue that some cheaper brands do. It's clear that Crosman has been doing this for a long time, and that experience shows in the consistency. You aren't going to find a massive variance in weight from one pellet to the next, which is usually where the frustration starts with budget ammo. If you're looking for something that bridges the gap between casual target practice and a bit of light field work, these are a solid pick. They aren't trying to be anything fancy or over-engineered, and that's exactly why they work. They just do what they're supposed to do every single time you pull the trigger. If you've got a standard airgun and you're tired of inconsistent results, grabbing a tin of these is a pretty safe bet. They're dependable, they hit hard enough for the task at hand, and they won't break the bank. Sometimes, simple really is better.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.